Dragons are among the most fascinating creatures in mythology, capturing the imagination of cultures across the globe. These legendary beings, often depicted as large, serpent-like creatures with the ability to fly and breathe fire, are steeped in rich narratives and symbolism. From ancient texts to modern films, the allure of dragons remains strong, inviting us to explore their origins, variations, and enduring significance. The origins of dragon mythology can be traced back thousands of years, with early depictions appearing in the art and literature of Mesopotamian, Egyptian, and Indus Valley civilizations. These ancient societies often associated dragon-like creatures with chaos and destructive forces. The term dragon comes from the Greek word drakon, meaning serpent, reflecting the serpentine form these creatures often took in early myths. In many ancient cultures, dragons were symbols of power and divinity. For example, the Babylonian goddess Tiamat, depicted as a dragon, represented the chaotic forces of nature. Similarly, in Greek mythology, the dragon Ladon guarded the golden apples in the Garden of the Hesperides, symbolizing both protection and threat. As societies evolved, the depiction of dragons adapted to reflect changing values and beliefs. In some cultures, dragons became revered guardians, while in others, they remained fearsome monsters. This adaptability allowed dragons to maintain their relevance through centuries of artistic and literary transformations. Over time, dragons have been portrayed in myriad ways, embodying the fears, hopes, and values of different civilizations. Whether as malevolent beasts or benevolent protectors, dragons continue to captivate the human imagination, evolving alongside the cultures that revere or revile them. Ancient civilizations worldwide prominently featured dragons in their mythologies. In Mesopotamia, the dragon-like Mushusu symbolized protection for Babylon and was depicted in sculptures and reliefs. Mesoamerican cultures worshipped Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent god representing duality and credited with advancing agriculture and civilization. In ancient China, dragons were significant symbols of imperial power, believed to control water, rainfall, and floods. Unlike their European counterparts, Chinese dragons were often portrayed as benevolent beings, symbolizing wisdom, strength, and auspiciousness. They appeared in royal iconography and ceremonies, intertwining deeply with the ruling class in Chinese culture.
The ancient Greeks and Romans also depicted dragons as treasure guardians, integrating them into the hero's journey. Greek mythology features the dragon guarding the Golden Fleece, while Roman lore includes dragons as protectors of sacred springs. These formidable creatures served as challenges that heroes had to overcome, embodying both protection and threat in these ancient narratives.
European dragons are often depicted as malevolent, fire-breathing creatures embodying chaos and destruction. The medieval period solidified this image, portraying dragons as monstrous beings hoarding treasure and terrorizing villages. Stories like that of St. George and the dragon epitomize the archetype of the heroic knight defeating the evil dragon, symbolizing the struggle between good and evil. In European folklore, dragons became heavily entwined with Christian symbolism, representing sin, temptation, and the devil. This portrayal painted dragons in a negative light, as embodiments of malevolent forces to be vanquished by virtuous heroes. The heroic dragon slayer narrative became a powerful motif, influencing Western literature and art for centuries. Norse mythology also contributed to the European perception of dragons. Figures like Fafnir, who transformed into a dragon out of greed, highlighted themes of avarice and the moral consequences of one's actions. This depiction reinforced societal values surrounding power and greed, casting dragons as cautionary figures within these tales.
The iconic imagery of European dragons, with their leathery wings, scaly bodies, and fiery breath, continues to capture the imagination, cementing their role as symbols of terror and the ultimate adversary in numerous myths and legends.
In Asian cultures, dragons hold a revered status as symbols of wisdom, power, and good fortune. Unlike the malevolent, fire-breathing dragons of European mythology, Asian dragons are often depicted as benevolent and wise beings. In Chinese mythology, dragons are closely associated with water, rain, and agriculture, underscoring their role as guardians of the natural world. The dragon is also a prominent figure in Chinese astrology, representing one of the 12 animals in the zodiac and embodying traits of strength, courage, and auspiciousness.
During Chinese New Year, dragon dances are performed to invoke prosperity and ward off evil spirits. These elaborate performances highlight the cultural significance of dragons as bringers of good luck and protectors of communities. The intricate dragon costumes and synchronized movements symbolize unity and the harmonious relationship between humans and nature.
Japanese mythology similarly venerates dragons, often linking them with water deities and natural phenomena. Ryujin, the dragon god of the sea, is believed to control tides and weather, reflecting the deep respect for the natural elements. Temples and shrines dedicated to dragon deities are scattered across Japan, serving as places of worship and reverence. In Korean culture, dragons are seen as powerful and auspicious creatures that bring rain and fertility to the land. The Korean dragon, known as Yong, is often depicted with a more serpentine body and is considered a symbol of protection and good fortune. Asian dragons, therefore, embody a complex and multifaceted symbolism that blends reverence for nature, cultural values, and the quest for harmony and prosperity. Dragons have long been central figures in folklore and fairy tales, embodying the ultimate test for heroes to prove their valor. These mythical creatures often appear as daunting obstacles that protagonists must overcome, symbolizing the various challenges and fears faced in life's journey. Classic tales like The Dragon and the Pearl highlight dragons as gatekeepers of wisdom and wealth, teaching important life lessons about humility, courage, and the value of knowledge. Folklore from different cultures portrays dragons in unique ways, yet the common theme of transformation and heroism remains. Whether guarding hidden treasures, protecting sacred knowledge, or testing the mettle of brave souls, dragons serve as powerful symbols of the trials one must endure to achieve greatness. Through these enduring tales, dragons continue to inspire and challenge readers, emphasizing the timeless quest for self-discovery and moral fortitude.